Welcome back to This is a Commander channel, where this is a Commander channel, and today I'm going to talk about Commander Tough Rules and Cool Interactions episode 25. Today's episode is going to take a look at one of the newly spoiled cards from one of the upcoming Baldur's Gate Precon decks, and how it interacts with one of the reprints that will also be in that very same Precon, which is the Mind Flayarrrs deck. Interesting name. The new card is Endless Evil, which is an aura to enchant a creature that you control, and it says, at the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of enchanted creature, except the token is 1/1. There's a bit more, but that isn't the focus of today's episode. This is a really cool aura that I'm scared to see it go unanswered in some decks with powerful ETBs, but where this is going to have some confusing interactions for a lot of players is with its power and toughness setting aspect. The reprint that will also be in the Precon with Endless Evil is Consuming Aberration, which is a horror creature that says, Consuming Aberration's power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in your opponent's graveyards. And you'll see that down in the bottom right, its power and toughness are represented by stars. These sort of star abilities are special in the world of Magic the Gathering, and they don't come up too often. These are kinds of static abilities called Characteristic Defining Abilities, or CDAs. And the cool thing about these are that they apply themselves to the card in all zones, including your hand, your library, graveyard, exile, etc. You can find more information about CDAs in the Comprehensive Rules number 604.3 and 6043A, but now on to how the 1/1 setting part of Endless Evil will interact with the CDA power toughness setting ability that the Aberration has. There is another rule in the Comprehensive Rules that tells us how to handle these specific sort of situations, and that is CR 707.9D, and this one is quite a mouthful, so after I read it, feel free to pause the video and reread it on screen, and I'll also paste the text for it in the video description if you would like to read through it down there. Okay. CR 707.9D says, when applying a copy effect that doesn't copy a certain characteristic, retains one or more original values for a certain characteristic, or provides a specific set of values for a certain characteristic, any characteristic defining ability of the object being copied that defines that characteristic is not applied. If that characteristic is color, any color indicator of that object is also not copied. This rule does not apply to copy effects with exceptions that state the object is a certain card type, supertype, and/or subtype, in addition to its other types. In those cases, any characteristic defining ability that defines card type, supertype, and/or subtype is copied. So that is a very long way to say that if you enchant the Consuming Aberration with Endless Evil, the copies that are created will be 1/1 creatures and not star creatures. But the cool thing in this case of the Aberration being the target is that you will get more of those cast-triggered abilities that it has to mill your opponents even faster. Now, before I do conclude the video, I want to provide you with some other example of 707.9D to maybe help it make more sense. You cast Glasspool Mimic, which says, you may have Glasspool Mimic enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature you control, except it is a shapeshifter rogue in addition to its other types. And you have out in play a Tajuru Paragon, I hope I said that right, that has the CDA stating that Tajuru Paragon is also a cleric, rogue, warrior, and wizard, which means that when the Mimic becomes a copy of the Paragon, it will have 6 creature types: elf, cleric, rogue, warrior, wizard, and shapeshifter. This is because the effect here is additive and not replacing. So my questions to you are, scenario number 1. you cast Quicksilver Gargantuan and have it enter the battlefield as a copy of Tarmogoyf. What will the creature look like? And then scenario number 2, you cast Croaking Counterpart targeting your Veteran Adventurer. What does the token look like? Anyhow, that's all I've got for today's episode. As always, I hope that all of you at least found this video to be entertaining, and I hope that even a few of you maybe even learned something about the crazy rules in this great game of Magic the Gathering. Have a good one. Ta-ta.